Hey, good morning, folks. We're going to do some illustrations this morning, so give me a moment here. I need to check in on my signal, make sure I'm coming through clearly, do the social media posts, and then we're going to continue working on this painting. So if you want to skip ahead a minute, I'll be done with all that stuff, and we'll get started here. But normally, we don't get our link. Hold on, checking my volume here real fast. Normally, we don't get our link. Yeah, that sounds really good. Okay, we don't get the link to social media until we actually go live. So I never get to actually hear how I sound and get the link to do the the posting until I'm actually live. So that's why you normally see the countdown to, we'll be starting our stream in XXX seconds, because they're scrambling in the background doing all the social media posts like I'm doing right now. But I just don't have a fancy going live in 10 seconds. But that's about where we're at. I just need another few clicks. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, I publish them online, and I just finished an adventure for Eberron, but I'm still processing the assets, like putting all the maps and the creature tokens and the player handouts. I'm still assembling all of that in the zip file and building the product page on DMsGuild.com, but it is crazy close to being done. So, hey Fernando, it's good to see you. So we should have that published. God's grace, I'm going to have that published by Tuesday. And I've said that a number of times, but I didn't stream last night because I really want to get that adventure published so I can free up my evenings again and start working on the next thing. So anyway, so here we are. Here's our landscape. It's coming along nicely. There's a nice little pocket right in here where the eye is being drawn to, and there's nothing there. But I think we might put something there. I'm going to finish this foreground shrubbery over here on the left embankment. Add in some wildflowers here to make it a little interesting, leaving ourselves the option of putting something interesting here. I'm not sure what it is yet, but this is what's, like, this space right here, like right the hell there, is really pulling on my eye. I don't know exactly what it is yet, but we're gonna figure it out. So we're gonna let that percolate in my brain. Let's see, right hand side, left hand side. This is the side I want to work. High grass, shrubbery. I want to work on this shrubbery just a little bit more. We got some good green going inside here, but I really want to punch it up a notch. It's a little bit closer than this terrain here, so I want to make it a little bit brighter. Not like crazy, just a tig. Hold on real quick. I want to grab a reference color, and then we'll float across the other side. Come on, puppy. There we go. Yep, brighter. Okay, perfect. How you doing, Fernando? Yeah, I forgot to post that I was streaming yesterday, so attendance was low. I was in such a hurry to get online, I forgot to say, hey, I'm live. Anyway, foliage brush here. There's been a significant drop in channel volume since not posting about Eberron specifically. I did not realize how much of a pull labeling something as Eberron was having on my attendance. So we have to keep building. We'll build and build until we get there. We'll figure out how to. That I knew that was going to be a potential issue, like as I transition out of Eberron into like Ravnica and Strixhaven and Magic the Gathering. Doesn't have as large of an audience in D&D crossover as Eberron does. So I am on the decline a little bit on the channel. So I really appreciate everyone that swings through and checks the channel out and hangs out with me and helps boost the signal. Super kind of you guys. Really, really appreciate you. There we go. Brighten that up a little bit. I'm going to fade this layer just a touch. And then I want to layer over it one more time. This, yeah, we're super close to being done over on this embankment. Just a little bit of, honestly, after I do this green, all we gotta do is add in wildflowers, and we'll be good to go. Everyone's more popular than the other series, so it would seem. My numbers are like maybe 30 or 40 people watching a day right now, as opposed to when I was specifically doing Eberron stuff. My numbers were jumping more like around 80 or 90. It's not big numbers for any account, but it was an immediate change in the amount of attendance that I was getting. So I'll have to figure that out. This long form of art is by far more beneficial for me to stream than for apparently other people to watch. So I'm trying to let my ego absorb that hit while figuring out, is where's the real fun in this. And it really is just having the opportunity. I like sharing what I'm doing, but I don't want to change what I'm doing to share. Why would I? So I'm just destined to move very, very slowly. This is a very low-key complaint, so I'm going to shut up now. Because no one fucking cares. Cry some more, Kearney. Dance. Alright, that looks really good. Sorry, a quick little pity party there, apparently. Don't know where that came from. There we go. That feels a lot better than what I had. I'm happy with that. Cool, so let's shrink down the shrubbery into its folder. Let's pop open a new one. We're going to go down here, and we're going to call it Flower Tips. Now let's go down over to the right-hand side. Holy Hannah, we got a lot of tips. Okay, we got the bright flowers, and then we got this dark little splotch going on over here. So let's work with what we got to work with. And the brush that we are using was the Conifer Tips. Yep, you can literally see this little U here. It's the same U that's right here. So this is the brush that I was using. So, but it was a little bit bigger here. There. See? Exact same pattern. So that is the proper brush. Let's go ahead and migrate ourselves over to this side of the board. And grab that same brush and use 100% eraser. What's up? Instead of streaming, maybe you could do a video tutorial on how to create D&D stuff or something. Yeah. That's actually something I've been thinking about to help build numbers. I would like to start releasing a video at least once a month, if not once a week, just about stuff that we've talked about over the past 4 years, like structuring campaigns and building plot lines and all the whatever. I guess that's not I've talked about a lot because I'm having a hard time thinking of examples offhand. Just like the dining stuff or whatever, I can make videos. Once the Eberron Adventure publishes, I can use it as an example, like for like creating loops in dungeons and stuff like that. There are a lot of loops in the dungeons that we created in that adventure. So I can make a little video about creating loops and about alternate plot hooks and how they modify things, because we have a lot of plot hooks in that adventure. How to take an adventure and scale it into a campaign, which is what this thing is designed to be done if you're interested in doing so. So it's actually a really good example of the type of premise that I talk about of game design in general. It's an example of game design that meets my philosophies. So it's a good reference piece. When I published the Spelljammer adventure book, that was not adventure, the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration document, I made a series of videos talking about like the different space physics and stuff like that, which come up in conversations repeatedly as more and more people in Spelljammer ask the same questions that weren't answered in the WotC release. It's like, here's the solutions I came up with. They're in this book, and the more interesting solutions, the more frequent solutions I came up with, I made into videos. So I can say, here's an idea that I have. Video ensues, and I just give them the link, and they can watch that, and then they can watch all the other ones if it resonates. So I will end up doing the same for the Eberron book. So it's just a matter of getting it done and getting it published for reference. But then beyond that, hopefully I can build a cadence out of that to continue to do other videos in the future. Like once a month is hardly a heavy lift at all. And since I won't feel pressure to get, well, I mean, I always feel pressure in getting books done, but this is the Eberron adventure is the last adventure that I have. I'm committed to somebody else to produce.
As a small content creator, I can assure you that will be hard to get numbers in the beginning.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I have low expectations. It's okay. It really is. It's gonna be fine. I want to make sure that I don't over clump. Like, I don't want to just create like a carpet of wildflowers like I did the carpet of grass. I like having little breaks in them, and those breaks feel really good. So I'm hoping to replicate something similar to that. So I'm actually going to come through here and chunk away at some of these. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Now that I have all these in here, if I get rid of some of them, it actually creates shadow. That makes the bush, that sinks into the bushes a little bit more. I really like that. We'll get to where we're supposed to be. So as such, we are where we're supposed to be right now. I just feel like something could grow, and I haven't cracked how to do it yet. I have to change something about myself. There. Oh, I like that break right there. That feels really, really good. There we go. But by the way, anyone interested, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. I do this typically Monday through Fridays in the mornings, and game design on Mondays, Thursday nights, and Saturday mornings, and then we do playtesting on my Discord on Saturdays. I did not stream last night because I really just wanted to focus on getting the Eberron Adventure assets packaged, and I made some good progress. It's highly likely that I will be able to publish this weekend. It's Tuesday. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to go downtown on my monthly Mecca to the corporate office of Seattle tomorrow morning, so I will not be streaming tomorrow. And then I have to get pulled. Then I'm being pulled into a corporate trust event the following Wednesday. So uncharacteristically, I have to go downtown twice this month. So we're gonna have a gap this Wednesday and the following Wednesday in morning stream. But we'll be back on. We'll still be here otherwise Monday through Friday in the morning and Monday, Thursday night, Saturday morning doing the things. There. Let's scatter those in here. So I'm just adding little pattern. I'm just adding in little tufts of them, and then I'm erasing by. Okay, so by here's a good spot. Here, and here. I'm doing these like little trios of like this hard fanning effect, and then by deleting most of the underneath information, it still leaves that like hints of that structure, and the way that these little wildflower bits are clumped. It's implied of the curve because the tips of them are curving along that fan. So it creates this little clustering. Anyway. I'm going to up the size a smidge. Just up one tick from 90 to 100 pixels. I'm going to actually add another layer here. Underneath it. It's going to be a little further back along the water edge here. There we go. Dot it along over here. Just really want to lighten it up. Little wisps. Whoa, that's very, very loud. Thank you, sir, for the announcement. Hey, what's up? Hey, right on, man. Thanks. I like it. Yeah. It's you zoom in. It's super basic, but it gets the feeling across. That's again, most of this is just visual illusion. It's not hard technique or like detail. It's just using different textures and color and volume control with adding and erasing. Here it is at full screen. Like this is like if you're gonna look at the whole piece. This is the resolution that you look at it at. Like, here's your full page composition. And at this stage, it's just texture. You can't see the specifics of it, really. You have to zoom in to be able to start seeing the pattern of it breaking down into patterns. When you further away like this, at the size of intended volume, at the scale of intended viewing, it looks pretty damn good. So you have to keep in mind, like, what's your actual viewing, like, what's your actual viewing scale that you anticipate this thing being viewed at, and that helps control your detail, like the amount of detail that you need to put into a piece. And again, we've been talking about like perspective, having that lack of detail as you move further away is the way that the eye understands distance. Like I think that's like being able to set your own scale of detail and resolution inside of your painting. That's a really strong control point, worth studying and mastering, because it's going to allow you to reduce the amount of work that you do overall as you learn to cheese out on detail further away in the piece and focus your time on the foreground. You are literally investing your time where it's going to matter most. And that's conservation of energy, and that also helps keep excitement up. Losing excitement in your piece and becoming unmotivated is the most common reason I find for ending a task. Like, I'm fortunate that I'm most of the art that I do is for a specific book, like as an illustration for a project, not just funsies art time, not just fun for fun. This is a funsy fun, just funs for fun. And I don't do a lot of these. So the only thing that keeps me doing this one is it fun? It has no purpose other than entertainment. And when you stop being entertained by your piece, stop working on it. Which is contrary to illustration, which is this has to be made. And that in that sense, you want to conserve energy so you don't lose fun with it. Last thing you want to do is like work on a book cover and get bored of working on it. That's why I do my book covers first when I'm excited about the project, not last after I've spent 1 billion hours making assets and now I have to make an 80-hour painting. Fuck off. You know? Like that's, you want to start off with the 80-hour painting up front, so it's the heaviest thing you have to lift. And then everything after that becomes easier and easier for you to get through the finish line. So as you run out of endurance for the project, you're not asking as much. I am fed up with working on this Eberron adventure that we're publishing, but at this point, all I have to do is cut, paste, resize, and then add into a folder. It's raw production work that has no creativity or fun to it whatsoever. It's like sports being the opposite of narrative. Production is the opposite of creativity. But it still requires the same focus and energy. For me, it actually requires more time. More focus. I can't like catalog and numerize and process assets while I'm on stream and talking shop. I'll do it occasionally in an instance. Like you've seen instances of me doing it for a few minutes to show you where I'm at and what I've got going on. But I can't do like an hour-long stream of me just packaging assets. It would just be me muttering to myself for a 2-hour block of time. It would not be entertaining because it requires the amount of focus and energy, the same as when I'm painting something, but I don't know I don't know the technique, so I have to figure it out. And I get like really quiet and stop being conversational. It's because my brain is actually working while I'm doing that. Like my brain is literally not working right now. I'm just tapping at the canvas without really caring what happens to it. Let's get a third layer of wildflowers going. God, I love how this looks. So fucking cool. Let's take this to, let's go 125 here, a little bit closer to the camera. And we'll up the size of the eraser to 125 to match the size. So I'm stuck off camera doing all these assets and stuff because they required too much of my concentration to be able to stream. So now I'm just doing a one-off. Like I said, I'm doing a palette cleanser. This is just to do a me piece just for the sake of me before I start diving into other production work. And once I actually get those assets finished and my evenings get finished up, I get to start creating content for the other books, like working on the Bastion campaign and start working out pages for the revision of the Color Mana Spell Point variant rules and setting up martial powers. There's a lot of cool stuff that I get to start doing that I'm hoping that I can break them up. So like I can do like 3 or 4 pages of the Color Mana system revision and then do the illustrations for that book. While off stream, I work on like the next 4 or 5 pages. And if I finish those 4 or 5 pages before the 4 or 5 pages I just gave myself of illustrating, if I can finish the page production before I finish the art assets, then I can start working on other things and stack up production. So as I'm hopefully this time, like with the Eberron adventure, I made the adventure, I did the page layouts, and then I started doing all of the art assets. And there was a huge hang time between having completed the adventure and actually being able to publish it. I still haven't published it yet. I'm hoping that if instead I do the art and the pages together, moving them along together in the process, that by the time I finish illustrating the last book, I'm actually ready to go. The book is actually done, and then we can punch it out. So I'm hoping that's what we can do. I feel like if we build in that direction, and if that becomes a good cadence, that would be a good way for us to be able to do Kickstarters in the future. But still figuring it out. Doing that sequencing, and that might open up time for me to be able to start doing these like monthly or monthly video sounds better than weekly video. Weekly video sounds like I'm going to be doing a lot of editing and BS and like script writing and figuring out what am I supposed to write instead of doing production. Production is paramount and always first. So I'm gonna actually raise this up a little bit, close that gap some. I like that little ripple in here though, but I want to get more up in there. There we go. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we've been working on all sorts of books. For the past 2 years, we've basically been building up a backlog of books that want to get published. And we've gone through a lot of play testing and revisions, but the only work I do on those books is when I'm on camera, because all the downtime background stuff has been specifically spent on the Eberron adventure, like building the illustrations and then integrating them into the page. That takes a lot of time, and it's a lot of time and effort. So all these other projects we've been working on, I've pretty much only worked on them when I'm on camera. So now once the Eberron project is actually done, we're still processing assets in the background. Once we've finished that, what we do in the evening is as open as what we do in the morning. So like my entire day becomes open for me to do whatever it is that I want. I don't have any projects that need to be, they all need to be completed, right? But none of them have a priority over the other. I mean, I'd like to have them all published, but I can only do one thing at a time. So is it better for me to do just one book at a time? Maybe. I don't know. The two things I need to do first is going to be revising and publishing the revised 2025 spell list. And then I also have a commitment to revising the Spelljammer Combat and Explorations spellcasting chapter to frame spell amplification around the same expenses as Circle Magic. Since we have Circle Magic now in D&D, which is spending extra spell slots to ramp up effects, we can bend the spell jamming amplified spellcasting to use that same sensibility. So new tech came in that improves our product. I want to integrate that tech because I believe in the product. I want to keep, like, to me, Spelljammer Combat and Exploration is still the best solution for 5e combat in vehicles. So I want to make sure that that book always remains current with what is with what's applicable coming out of WotC. So Circle Magic was a crazy awesome opportunity for me to further lock down and validate the type of mechanics that we're putting in Spelljammer. So that and the revised Color Mana spell list are my top two priorities. Once I clear those from my plate, then I'll probably start working on the Color Mana spell subclasses. And while I'm working on those on stream, in the background, I'll be working on like filling in the chapter information about like spellcasting and research and setting all that stuff up. So I think the Color Mana stuff is what we'll work on first, and we'll figure out like a specific, like I might decide rebuilding Knights and Tricksters is the most fun thing to do, and so I'll work on that for a week or two maybe, and then we'll see where it's at, and if I want to set that aside and work on like the core mechanics book some more, I can do that. I don't know. I haven't sorted it all out yet. I feel this needs to change down in here. So I'm going to leave that like that. And then let's come over here like this. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. Do that. I can hear myself. That means my volume is off. There we go. This is bare spot here is begging for something. Nah. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna add a new layer in, and let's push this up to 150. There we go. There we go. That feels pretty good. But mainly back here is where our new layer is being added in to fill in this little cul-de-sac here. There, like that. Takes a little time to dot this in. If I had a fan brush, I'd be able to just like broaden the tip and just like tap at it with the side of the fan brush, and probably be done with this in like 5 minutes if I was using an actual easel and live materials. But I that is not me. I am a digital guy. I very much respect physical painting, but it is not my bag. Yeah, let's upsize this a little bit. There we go. That feels really good. I'm going to add another layer of separation here. And we'll go with larger. Still, we're at 175 now, and we were at like 90 back here. So, good scaling. That, and then there. Lessen the intensity a little bit on that. Just to trim it down a little bit. Yeah, not bad. What am I missing? This bit here. And I believe, hold on, let's go back and look at that bush again. I think we use our spin flourish. So let's go create another layer here to add in some of that variety. I believe we use our foliage texture brush. So I'm going to dot around in here to break those up a little bit. Maybe reduce the size a little. Oh, shit. I should be using... Let's erase back and go. I'm using the wrong eraser. I'm going back as far as I can go, and let's switch to when we're adding and erasing, we always mostly want to use the same brush to create the same pattern in the erasure. That feels better. Adding these in. See, I'm erasing most of the lower information, only keeping the top edge again, so we can control the arc of these little flowers popping in. Like that. And we'll erase most of that through there. Let's create another layer here. Like that. So it just starts to blend in. Kind of like it blends in over here. Another layer, adding that in and dotting it around. So we added another layer so I could freely erase around here without damaging the stuff that we had already done. I've got this like this sleepy raspy going on in my voice today. I'm not hating it. I'm just noticing it. Push that up. Yeah, that feels good. Here in the foreground. Let's tap that stuff in again. Do I want? Nah, I don't think I want that up here. That's too far forward in the bank. I think I want to have these just back for a little bit further away from the water's edge. That feels pretty good. And maybe one more layer. Something like that. There we go. That feels pretty good. Then that's just a smidge. There we go. Some wild chaos going on in there. It gives a little bit of pop. How are we feeling about this? Pretty good. Okay, so now we're at a point where this little knoll here is pretty good. This one over here is pretty good. I'm happy with it, but it's not particularly, the foreground isn't particularly eye-grabbing. So again, we were talking earlier, this space right in here, this is just begging for something to happen, to frame, like this is not exciting, and this is not specifically exciting. This is interesting up here in the mountains, but like all along here, this is like all of this. This is a zone of disinterest. That this is interesting over here is interesting because we have this rocks and we have the contrast with the shrubbery. Like this is interesting. It's got more going on than what we have going on over here on the right hand side. Like this left hand side over here is less interesting than the mid ground pushed further back away from the camera over here. So to change that, this is a point of interest. This is a point of interest. Logically, the next point of balance between this dullness and these 2 points of interest is to have a point of interest here. So, what could we potentially put inside that space? It's framing this ridgeway here. It's like there's something going on here that could become interesting. It levels off and becomes empty. So I could potentially add another mountain here, like this, to add some sort of interest to it. This is not the place to do that. Let's fold this up together into the left and the right. All that stuff is done. Let's create a new spot. Let's start with, I'm just gonna call it heat for now. I don't know why, but we could add, yeah, like I was saying, we could add in, let's just grab a reliable round brush. Maybe add a figure, someone standing. Maybe. Let's just go through the process of seeing what could be done. If I drop an object like this, that actually does create more interest and balance with the mountain. It seems less offsides. So we could definitely add a mountain there. See how that just immediately filled in that gap and took a piece out of that? Like, it's not empty space anymore. Now it's actually really interesting. And if I take that and I drop it behind the mountain, like here, I could just build into if I build in front, I could have it spill across. Okay, so I like that idea a lot. That is, in my mind, that is immediately a potential winner. We would put that between the mountains and the highlands, I think, is the proper spot for that. And what else? What else can we do? Let's look at our color palette. That's a reddish, more like almost like a pinkish. Also a reddish into the greens. A lot of red going on in this piece. Sharp reds going on up in this tree here. Maybe, I don't know. Let's add a figure. Someone standing. Standing would put them like in this space here. I have to keep in mind the perspective, so they can only really be like maybe this big, and be realistically framed in the piece. So that'd be like that big over here. No, they'd have to be smaller over here. It'd be like, to scale, like assuming these trees are like 30 feet tall, that means like a person is going to be like at best like that. Like if I'm here, that's not going to be very significant. And it's a point of interest, and it would sit well in the frame, but I don't think that's really what I want. I think I really like having that mountain there, but I want to go look at dragons. Let's just dive into the heart of darkness and let's go look at dragons. So D&D Beyond, and let's go to the library. In the monster manual, let's see if there's something cool here that catches us. Ooh, wait a second. Maybe let's see. I actually want to look at a griffin. That's a great picture. copied. They have a bluishness to them, which matches the sky. I don't hate that. I don't think this is the kind of griffin I would want to draw, though. I mean, I like the general idea of it, but I don't know. Let's do this instead. Let's take a very dark color. See about just blocking in a shape. I don't know. Let's fuck around and find out what happens. Yeah, okay, let's go back and let's go look at... I don't know, let's look at a brass dragon. Let's see what that looks like these days. Blue dragon. Bone devil. Banaga. Brass dragon. Bronze dragon. Huh. Interesting. That's underwater. That's not going to help because it's gonna it has that sepia wash. That is like almost identical color palette. That is fucking funny. No, not specifically. I was honestly just checking to see what bronze and brass would look like, and like, as I suspected, bronze is like exactly matching the mountainside, so that's not gonna work. Red might actually be the best. I'm low-key thinking. Why? What's your thought? I mean, we could just go for big red and see how it sits on the page. Let's just go for big red and see how it sits on the page. Silver dragon is compelling. Rhino. Where the hell is my red dragon? There it is. I missed it. Red dragon. Always so angry. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna go back with my gut. Let's go with silver. Let's go check out what a silver dragon looks like. I think that red would be overpowering. I kind of like the idea of reflectiveness. So let's see how this guy shakes out. It's not a bad mane. I like that general shape. Let's copy that one. Liking the blue on that. Very much liking the blue on that, because we have that red, and this blue is like the see how the white red, like in the RGB up in the corner there. how it teeters back and forth from the red of the mountains and the blue of the dragon. That's, I think, a good color. I like that oscillation. Something like that feels, I think, pretty good. So let's go ahead and scooch this guy over to the side. We'll probably pump him up in up here into the reference area. I can't believe we're adding a fucking dragon to this. Seems to be what we're doing. Tail. We'll have to get another reference image for the tail. All right, prepare to add a week of production time to this, because that's potentially where we're going here. Where's your goddamn tail, sir? Guess he doesn't have an interesting tail. Let's grab this for reference. This one's the most relevant, so let's keep that one closest. That one's going to be the least relevant color-wise. This one's the least relevant color-wise, but I think it could be very useful for structure. Yeah. I think I like this direction. Let's go with this. This feels right. So, yerp. Let's keep that out of let's keep those out of the way for now. Let's just focus on building our silhouette, and then we'll fill it in with color later. Maybe, Silver Dragon looks more like a horse than anything. Figure you out. This is how we want to do that. I have the right to just bail on this if I want. But for now, I want to explore it. Now we're starting to get a more classic silhouette.
Something like that feels pretty good. Get rid of that. We might have to scale and resize this appropriately. That's a bit of a tilt we got going on there. Maybe I want to pull this back. It's more of a swoop. That posture right. Has such a horse look to it. Longer down here. Building out this anatomy is just, it's a fun experiment. So if we're in here like that, we're gonna have our wing down here like this. Shore that up here. Thank you, Timely Timer. What time is it anyway? So okay, we got 20 minutes. We can fuck around for a little bit. This is not to scale. Don't like that extension. I want it to be wrapping, or I feel like I want it to curl around. You know, like here, like something like that. Oh, I like that. I love the idea of it just swinging its tail through the water. That is super fun. So that gives us a point of reference. So we can bring this in. Let's free transform. I have to keep this wing back. And we can probably drop the scale a little bit. Gotta be careful around here about the silhouette. This is me not knowing what I'm doing, and it completely kills the conversation. When I venture out into areas that I don't know what I'm doing, I get a lot more quiet because I'm focusing more on what the hell am I doing. Whew, man. It's a conversation killer, that's for sure. Don't make the Kearney think. Man, I'm really grooving on this silhouette though. I gotta get the legs worked in. That is very much filling that space. I don't hate this. I do not hate this. Yeah, it's not. Ooh. LeFou, I'm afraid I've been thinking. Let's go check out. Let's check out Wyvern. Or Quaddle. Ooh, let's look at Quaddle. Copper Dragon. Oh, that's crazy. Quaddle. That's literally a snake. But do I like the coloring on it? It's got this greenishness going on. I don't think I'm grooving on that color. I like the feathers though. That could be fun. Maybe we'll do a feathered snake. Ooh, hold on. Maybe I do like that. I think we like that. That balance is pretty good. Okay. Feather dragon for the fucking win, or feathered snake for the win. Desert, forest, grassland, urban. No, it's copper dragon. Fuck you. Medium-sized creature. Fuck you. We're just gonna make it big. Yeah, we're gonna make it big. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Get out of my face. Back to you. We'll probably do a blend. It doesn't have to be a specific type of dragon. I'm really liking this curve through here, though. That feels really, really good. Actually, let's take it all back. Maybe we can keep that curve through here. Yeah, let's just keep this going, see where it leads us. I tell you, this tail's starting to extend. Let's not worry about where it's at, and let's be more worried about what it is. I think that little water curve probably be fine. Let's sling its tail around a little bit more. get this. I want to get like this, like little swing, this like little swang sort of effect going on. I'm not there yet. I like the idea of that. I want to duplicate this because I like that. I like that silhouette, but it's not what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling more something like. Transform, perspective, push that forward a bit. Obviously, we're not going to finish today. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I have to go downtown to corporate for my for my corporate office mecca. We do our monthly trust exercises and training and stuff. And unfortunately, this month will be both this week and next week that I'll be out on Wednesday. But hopefully we'll make up for it with quality and fun. Go. Not liking the head. Liking the angle. Liking the idea, the energy of it, but it's not going where I want it to go. Ooh. Like that. Alright, I think we're gonna find ourselves somewhere in a space between Quaddle and Silver Dragon. Maybe a half Quaddle. It's actually feeling really good. I like that. I want to get the dragon's limbs. It's got 4 limbs, 4 legs and back legs. Okay, that's traipsing out pretty nicely. Let's add. What is your Oh my god. Okay, let's hit save before something weird happens. Because something weird is happening. There, free transform. That's good positioning there. Well, that's looking really strong. I like that. Let's go. do that. I like where these forums are at. I'm gonna drop you down. It seems somewhat natural. That feels pretty good. Hey, what's up? Just in case, you still have one color mountain behind the creature. Yep. Like a radiant rainbow-like wing. Just in case you still have a one color mountain. Oh yeah. Yo, this back here. Yeah, I haven't forgotten about that. This framing here right now, I'm liking where this space is at. I think this is probably gonna work out. Let's figure out how to do this guy's ribs and back hip. Like that. We'll get to it. Oh man, Fernando, thanks for hanging out, my dude. I really appreciate you. Thanks a lot for your thanks for your opinions. I appreciate it. I will see you on the other side. Thursday, actually. I shan't be here tomorrow. That feels pretty good. All right, we'll figure this out. This is all looking really, really good so far. I'm very, very happy with it. Block here. Not feeling too bad. Yeah, what if we were to kick those back a little bit? Like that and that. Yeah, these legs are always tricky back here. I always have issues with these back legs. Let's see if I can. Reference, peel that open, get these things out of the way. Let's go with wings there. 4 legs there. Let's drop the opacity on these a little bit. Let's see, how can we... duplicate leg like that. And duplicate leg like that. And then resize them a little bit. Free transform. Shrink them down a tig. It's not so bad. No, I like that. I like that arm being extended like that. That feels good. Then we can bring this here. Maybe bring that in a bit. Then we can take this back swing here. Do we want to extend that out like this a little bit, maybe? Well, that's my time. I don't hate that. I'm not in love with it yet, but I don't hate it. Dragon. Tilt. Yeah, I don't hate this. I'm not 100% on it yet, though. I think I'm going to have to let it settle overnight. And give it a think. Huh. I might have to go take a look at some cats. Like pick up a cat and how it hangs and let its legs dangle. I think that's probably what we're going to end up doing here, is doing cat dangling. For transform. I kind of like how it's curling in like that. I know I gotta go, but the muse isn't quite letting me go yet. I'll kick out of here in a minute. Dragons always remind me of cats anyway. I think there's potential here. Not the pose isn't quite where I want it to be, but it's coming along. We'll see. That's where we're at for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and save. I'll be out tomorrow going downtown, but I'll be back on Thursday in the morning to continue with this. And then on Friday, and then Thursday night, we'll be on stream.
I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to do something on stream. And then Friday morning we'll be back on. Saturday morning we'll be back on doing MTG color magic conversion for D&D. I think we're going to work through the Artificer on Saturday. And maybe we'll do that on Thursday. Thursday or Saturday, I'm not sure which. But we should be getting back into more Eberron stuff next week. Yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thanks a lot. Like, subscribe, bell icon, yada, yada. Appreciate your support. And thanks for folks that have been checking out the channel.